Hey everybody, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to play the song Blow Mighty Breath of God by Jesus Culture. This song was requested by Patron Debbie. Thank you, Debbie, for the song suggestion. If you would like to leave me your song suggestions, you can click right up there and where you can become a patron, and I take all of my song suggestions from my patrons, so you can do that over there. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play through the song for you first, and then after we play through it, I'm going to break it down and kind of explain it in more detail. So right now, let's go ahead and play through the song. Blow, mighty breath of God. Upon this place, blow, mighty breath of God, won't you move in power and grace? Streams of mercy flowing down, light of heaven all around, and it's falling to the ground. Breath of God, move upon this place, blow, mighty breath of God, won't you move in power and grace? Spirit fire, fan the flame, passion for your holy name, burning everything, blow, mighty breath of God, upon this place, blow, mighty breath of God, won't you move in power and grace? All right, now before I break this song down, if you would like to view the chord chart for this song, you can click right up there to head over to my Patreon page where I have that for you for this song as well as all of my other song tutorials. You can find the digital version of the chord chart there for viewing. Now for this song, we're going to be playing in the key of D, so we have just a few chords really from the D chord family. In fact, if you're familiar with my chord chart variations, my chord chart cheat sheet, you can find I have a lot of variations for the G chord family. In fact, we're going to be using those variations that you can find in the G chord family, we're going to be using here in the D chord family for the D chord family. So we're in the key of D. We're going to be using a D major, okay? But instead, we're going to be removing our, let's see, our second finger. So this is going to be a D suspended second to be exact. That's the D that we're going to be playing. In fact, for all of these chords, even though the shapes are going to be the same, like a C add 9 and our G, looks the same as the chord variations in the G chord family, I am going to be playing them without the third fret being pressed on the E string. Okay, so I'm never going to be pressing that high E string for any of these chords. It's just going to be an open E string for all the chords that I'm going to be playing. Okay, so we've got that D chord, D suspended chord. I'm also going to be playing a C add 9, again without that pinky on the third fret of the high E string. Also going to do a G, same thing, not putting our pinky down. And then we have an A, and I'm going to do an A suspended 4 here, where I'm keeping that third finger on the third fret of the B string. It's just staying there for all of these chords so far. Okay, and then from there I go back to that D suspended. Okay, so for all of these chords so far, that third finger stays on the third fret of the B string. Okay, D, C, G, and A. All right. And then a little bit further down, when we get to the verse, at the end of the verse, we also have an E minor thrown in there. And I'm going to be doing that still with my third finger down to create like an E minor 7 chord, okay? But what really is important here is that this note here with my third finger on the third fret of the B and that open E string, those two notes together kind of tie all of this progression together. It's kind of a constant amongst all the chords, okay? So we have this E minor that shows up at the end of the verse, and that's it. Those are all the chords that we're going to be using. Now, for the rhythm here, we're going to be using half the song we're using some finger picking, the other half we're using strumming. So first, let's go over this finger picking pattern. So for the finger picking, I'm using something called the inverse pattern, where I'm doing 3 plucks down, okay, starting at the top going down, and 3 plucks coming the other way, okay, totaling 6 beats, if you will. But it's really, this song is in 3/4 time, so you can count it 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay, and we're plucking for each one of those. So 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay, so we have 3 down and 3 back in the other direction, okay. So we have, for the D chord, we want to start on the D string. We're going to avoid the low E and the A string for a D chord. So our thumb is going to be plucking on the 3 beats down, and it's going to start on the D string. So we have the D, the G, and the B string, okay, going down in that order. 1, 2, 3. And then coming back the other way, I'm going to start on the high E string with my second finger, and then my first finger on the B and G. So that makes 1, 2, 3. Coming back the other direction, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, depending on what chord we're playing, if the root note changes, that pattern is going to shift. So for instance, the next chord we're playing is the C. So when we go to that C chord, our root note is now on that A string. So our thumb needs to start on the A string and go down from there. So we're going to do the A, D, G with our thumb, okay? And then when we come back the other direction, we're going to start with our second finger, this time on the B string instead of the high E string. So our coming back the other way, we're going to do the B string, G, and D, okay? Second, first with my fingers. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now when we go to a G chord, our root note changes again to the low E string, so our thumb needs to shift to that low E string for beat 1. This time I'm going to skip the A string and I'm going to go to the D string for beat 2. So my thumb is going to go beat 1 on the E string, beat 2 on the D, beat 3 on the G. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. And then my second and first finger does the same thing it did on the C chord, starting on the B string, B, G, D. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the same pattern will happen for the E minor chord, because for the E minor chord, our root note is also on that low E string. So we're going to do the same thing when we play that E minor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you're practicing this finger picking pattern, it's a good idea to just pick one chord and just practice that pattern over and over again. And to where you can get it set to memory, so you don't have to think about it while you're also trying to do chord changes and sing and all of this other stuff at the same time. So you have to get this finger picking pattern set to memory so you can do all of these things together. Okay, so it's going to just take a lot of repetition for it to become part of your memory. Okay, so that's important. Now, after we get through the first half of this song, we're going to switch to a strum pattern, and because I'm finger picking for the first half, I'm just going to do the strumming without a pick. And to do that, I'm just going to be kind of using my fingernail on my first or second finger, really my first finger, that's how I do it, for those down strokes, okay? And then when I strum up, I usually will just also use my first finger, just the pad of that first finger on the up strums. Sometimes I'll use my thumb, the nail of my thumb on the up strum. So it's kind of just a matter of personal preference there, of how you want to do it. Just, take some practice time and figure it out for yourself. And so what we're going to do here, though, for the strumming is we're going to do a strum pattern called the sway pattern. And for this one, we're going to be strumming down on every beat. Remember, this is a 3/4 time song, so we have 3 beats per measure. So we're going to be strumming down on every beat. So that's 3 beats we're strumming down, okay? And then we're going to add an up strum after beat 2 and 3. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and like that. But we also want to put emphasis on beat 1, and it's very important that we do that. We strum harder on the first beat and softer on the rest, okay? So we have 1, 2, and 3, and 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 1. Okay, and that's the pattern. So you can practice that pattern also without any chords. If you want to just mute your strings and practice it with counting those beats out loud like that, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and get used to how that pattern feels and the timing of that pattern before you try to add it to the song. That would be a very wise thing to do. Okay, let's see. The rest of this song is pretty straightforward. We have, there's nothing complicated in terms of the chords. Everything moves relatively straightforward. We have, let's see, the chords last for 2, 3, 4. So 4 measures per chord, except for when we get to the A. 2, 3. We have an A there. That A just lasts for 1 measure. It's super quick before we switch to the next chord. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Everything else, the chords are, we're holding them for either 2 or 4 measures. So they're held there for quite a while, except for that A chord. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So best of luck to you with this song. If you do have any questions and need clarification with anything, please feel free to comment on the Patreon post underneath this video, and I'll be happy to answer any patron questions that you may have. All right, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.